Hello, hello, hello.
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 Oh, yeah. I like it.
I feel like I'm a little soft.
We got it up to 11, baby.
Mm.
Need a Corolla and access to K1. I'm pounding this thing so I can crack open another one so we have a mark point.
Oh, very good. Just remember, it's Soviet Russia. Vodka drink, you comrade.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this very super serious episode of the CAMcast.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Indeed it was. And by super serious, I mean the same usual shenanigans that it always is. But it's just me and Dave this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that means serious.
Yeah. Or, well, we do have some kind of meaty things on the old agenda.
Well, we got some that, well, one in specific that's a pretty hotly debated topic.
Yes. One that just makes me laugh every time I read a thread about it.
It's great because really it is cut and dry.
Yes.
And people think it's full of gray areas.
But it isn't.
And it sure isn't.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was the most clickbaity way we could have not explained that whole topic.
I guess we got to actually write that in the title of the post and the episode so people actually get all clickbaity with it.
I like clickbaity thingies.
I do, too. People show up when they see clickbait. Anyway. So,
Mechanics hate this one simple trick that saves you thousands every year.
Oh.
No, is that not how we're...
No, I mean, we could do that one. Like, you won't believe what the FIA did this time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, find out after the jump.
And this weird ad.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I'd love if we had ads. By the way, if you're looking to sponsor some sort of ridiculousness in a basement, hi.
I mean, hey, we're here for that.
How you doing? I'm sorry I slipped into the microphone. Anyway.
You know you're not.
Nah, not really. I don't care. So anyway, on a packed program, we may or may not have listener correspondence. Nobody's really emailed or anything, but
Of course not.
whatever. So we do actually have one little thing. In the NASA Utah write-up, I said go through there and come up with nicknames for people. So Matt Guyver did, and we're going to workshop some of those nicknames.
Oh?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them are just not good. So, anyway, we've got that. We have the FIA doing something crazy. People trying to skirt the law like they do.
Mm-hmm.
Formula One doing things. Something that's currently in beta in San Francisco that excludes poor people. And somebody declaring bankruptcy.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. Well, let's jump into it. Where do you want to go first?
Let's see here. Let me get right back into our agenda.
Yes.
My screen refreshed, and that one news article I was just reading disappeared. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just let's jump right into just the first one there.
Okay. Yeah. So after forming an exploratory committee on it or whatever, the FIA is
however they do this,
whatever it is. Yeah, the FIA is throwing their first intercontinental drifting event.
and I think this could be good or bad.
Yeah.
I'm a grassroots kind of guy, so I, on one hand, I dislike that, the high-end techie side of things.
Yeah.
Is coming around. A lot of drifter guys are like, hey FIA, get your nerds out of my shit.
Yeah.
But I think it'll bring a newfound popularity.
Yeah.
Not that it's getting any less popular, but
No, and you're going to see some very different things with the FIA getting there, because what they're trying to do with this is they're trying to build a global rule set like they have with GT3 cars, GT4 cars, LMP1, P2. So it's like you can get a car in, let's say, Poland, and then be able to compete with it in Australia or Canada or wherever.
I like it. I mean, this opens up to a lot of things that we might not have in North America.
Yeah, I mean,
which is pretty rad.
Yeah, it's just trying to get everybody in line, so you're not having, like you're not trying to take a Formula D car and go do D1 with it, or like King of Europe with some sort of weird like grassroots bash car that's not going to be competitive on a pro level. But then again, while you're taking a bash car to something like that, I don't know.
Right, exactly.
And if you have that kind of money,
I mean, more power to you, I guess.
feel free to send us a check made out to cash. It's got a few zeros and commas in it.
Yeah, hey, I'm good with that.
But anyway, I'm coming from a more traditional motorsports background. I like this for kind of organizing drifting into the motorsport that Formula D wants it to be.
Right.
You know? So
I'll go with that.
For that purpose, I think this is going to be a very good thing. I don't think it's going to be you're going to see some people disappear, unfortunately, if these global rules are adopted by everybody.
Sure.
But I'm also, I've heard rumor that Jim Leah, the co-founder of Formula Drift, he was actually at the conference.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying that it's going to be more like the new crop of GT4 cars that you're seeing show up for stuff. So like the Camaro GT4.
Okay.
Like the new Mustang GT4, the Cayman GT4 Club Sport.
Okay.
These things that are very, very, very production based. So
I see.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that will, if that's the case, awesome, because it would also probably mean, new chassis are going to be introduced. So, and hopefully that would mean somebody like BMW would get on board.
That would be great.
I
would love to see some more manufacturer sponsors, like back in the newborn era of drifting in the United States.
Yeah,
we had a lot of manufacturer-sponsored cars.
Yeah,
we had Dodge, specifically Dodge, in the Mopar group, with the Vipers and the Charger and the Challenger.
Yeah, those great, awesome cars showed up.
Toyota, I think, did a little something for a short while there.
Yeah, I don't.
Scion.
Yeah, like all the Scions or the GT86s. That's Toyota racing now. So
right.
So yeah, I think Toyota's always kind of like given their they're just like, yeah, but we don't really have anything to compete, but thumbs up, we approve. So
right,
we'll be here.
Yeah,
and then obviously you see a lot of you don't really see a lot of privateer Mustangs. That's kind of like Ford will give them a very nice chassis to deal with, and then they have to go find somebody.
Okay.
Probably Roush to build them that crazy-ass V8.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I guess that's along the same lines as the RTR car and Von Gittin Jr. and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So
okay, well that's understandable.
Yeah. So I think from a competition motorsport standpoint, this is a very good thing. A lot of the complaints I've read on like Speed Hunters and Wrecked, it's people think that this is the apocalypse and that style is going to be leaving drifting and that you're not going to be able to go see cool-looking drifting, which...
Well, I don't know. I think if you're a fan of drifting... If you're a fan of the core of drifting, I think you'll still find some entertainment value in this one.
Yeah, like, this is going to... Like, you're going to see some insane shit happening, but if, like, you think cool drifting is going to go away, then you obviously have not been on the internet in, I'll go ahead and say, the last 2 or 3 years.
Right. You got grassroots bashes going on all across the country, all across the world.
Yeah,
actually.
Bashes, Matsuris, all of these things are happening.
Yeah.
So
the style portion of it's definitely not going anywhere. We're just adding another level of professional motorsport to this.
Yeah, it's like...
everybody's been complaining about Formula D, which is, I think, pretty much all we've got here. We don't have D1.
No, we do not have D1.
D1 has abandoned us.
Yeah.
Because we're a bunch of children that can't have nice things.
True. This is not inaccurate.
So I like that the FIA stepping up to bring some uniformity.
Yeah, which is
a top-tier motorsports level of it. Will I ever actually compete? Probably not.
No.
But I'll kind of hold the same distaste for it as I do with Formula D level drifting, in that grassroots will always be supreme. Where it started will always be where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
But as a motorsport,
yes,
it has to go up or it disappears.
Yep. So yeah, we're kind of hitting the limit with where it is with D1 in the drift box where they're judging, and
right.
Yeah, like Formula D is kind of hitting a peak. So that's we're at where we're at. This is the next logical step in the motorsports evolution.
Yeah, and I would love to see how it ends up being scored.
I feel like, so since they have the same promoter that D1 has, I feel they may just go with the drift box.
You're probably right.
Because that's like,
That's showing speed, angle, distance, proximity, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's really crazy. Like, the box doesn't necessarily care about, like, how you fill, like, a zone. Like, if you notice, like, lately with D1, everybody's kind of in the middle of the track.
Yeah.
Like, it's just measuring how the car is doing, which, I mean, there's probably a way to figure that out with proximity sensors and so forth. But
yeah, if I recall, there was a
I remember
Australia or New Zealand, D1NZ, I think they had all those proximity sensors,
Yeah.
and location sensors, and G
Yeah.
meters, and what have you, where the idea was to get as close to a clipping point as possible, or enter at a certain speed.
Yes.
I like that. Smoke will, like tire smoke, it's not going to be a graded type of thing anymore. I don't like the idea of dumping a bunch of smoke, because you can take a horrendous line, and with 1,000 horsepower and sticky tires, you could smoke out the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And mask your inefficiencies or what have you. I do know it is an advantage if you're a lead driver in a tandem, where you're smoking out the chase opponent, which gives you an advantage.
Yeah.
I get that. I still don't like it.
Yeah, and I will say this. The judges, at least on the Formula D live streams that I have been watching, not through the Formula D YouTube page or the Formula D website, but through the Network A YouTube page.
Because that's far better than anything Formula D has put together.
So, the judges have openly said that they are using the smoke to see where people are getting on the throttle and letting off.
That's fair. Okay.
Yeah, so
I would like to see, I don't know, the drift box, is that doing some in-car data logging as well? Like
so it's
RPM
like
speed, drive shaft speed, etc.?
Stuff like that, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That I'd like to see, because then
like,
you can look at minute changes in driver style.
Yeah.
Then you can see when they're getting on the throttle and when they're getting off the throttle.
Yeah. So a few more details. So if you look at this on the FIA website, this was clearly written in one language and then translated into another language.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So probably in French and then translated to English and wherever the hell else it was. The FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup is going to be held September 30th and October 1st in Odaiba. This lines up pretty okay with a bunch of other events. I think King of Europe or something actually has an event that day, so like that weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So,
okay.
But I think Formula D is either the week before. I think Formula D is the week after, and then D1 is the week before at Odaiba. So
it's going to be some good content then.
Yep.
We could do some real easy back-to-back comparison here.
Yeah. So Sun Pros, they're the promoter. They've been the D1 folks since 2001.
Well, and they've been doing a pretty good job, so
yeah,
I'd say they're a pretty good hire.
Yeah, so I mean that's really what we've got right now.
All right,
yeah. So
I'd like to see how it advances.
Yeah, we'll stick with that and kind of keep that updated. Ooh,
I like it. Oh, our pizza's almost here.
Pizza is on the way.
Oh goodness,
indeed. So in a minute we're gonna cut this and play some sort of music. Oh, by the way, our intro music is done by a local band called Mathusaworm. Mathusaworm.
Yeah, look them up.
Yes.
This is some good jams.
Yes.
This is like
I think
plucky 70s driving music type jam.
Yeah, I think we said it was gentleman driving music when we...
Very gentleman driving music. I will go with that.
Yes. So, Mathusaworm on Instagram. It's at Mathusaworm. So, yeah, go find them there. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we dig it. They're local.
Yes, they are.
They're friends of family.
Yeah, it's actually my girlfriend's brother. It's him, his girlfriend, and some of their friends. So
awesome.
Yep,
we dig it. I dig it.
Yep. So thank you, Mike and Kayla.
I mean, they probably aren't listening, but thank you anyway.
Well, I'm gonna send them the link.
Fantastic.
So
I love it.
Yep. So there's that. We're probably going to have another Mathusaworm track going while we get the pizza and get that all set up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And, Anyway, next thing on the agenda. Okay, I just want to jump on this real quick. Lyft shuttle is a thing. For those.
Yeah.
I just want to touch on this real quick.
I didn't read anything about this yet. Let me gloss through this article while you're starting here.
Okay, so, we all know what Lyft is. It's the slightly better alternative to Uber, although it still kind of screws over drivers because such is the way of these things. They have introduced in San Francisco and Chicago what they're calling Lyft Shuttle, which is effectively a bus route. They have drivers driving on predetermined routes from stops, like picking up drivers, going from stop to stop and wherever it is. Like in San Francisco, they go from some of these kind of more well-to-do neighborhoods to like the financial district and other places where more well-to-do people tend to work. So, yeah, everybody writing a lengthy think piece saying that this is not a bus, that this is something awesome, and different and revolutionary.
Yeah.
It's a bus.
It's a bus. Yep.
The only difference is you're not sitting in a plastic seat on an actual bus, sitting next to some schizophrenic who's trying to exercise his demons. You're getting into a Prius.
Or, I mean, if somebody was smart, they'd be driving around in like a 15-passenger, like, Ford Transit with nice leather, or they'd be driving a nice Sienna or something.
So, I mean, it's like a bus that you can hail, like, it's not like a regular Lyft thing. Like, it just goes along this particular...
It's just a bunch of nice taxis that stop at the same locations over and
go
over
to the same places.
Again.
Like, you have replaced a bus with taxis.
Private commuter shuttles.
Yes, that's it.
That's
really what you've got.
It's a goddamn bus.
Yeah.
That you can pay with an app.
Yeah. Stop telling me that it's not a bus. It's a bus.
I mean, is there... okay, so I mean, there's got to be money in this, or there's got to be a reason why Lyft decided to do this.
Yeah, it's... they're trying to streamline it so you can, instead of... Like, they only run during commuter hours. So, in morning rush hour and evening rush hour, like to and from work. So they kind of... It's like they're trying to give their drivers, more of an idea of what they're doing, and people, instead of having to, like, sit around and wait, or take some weird, like, circuitous route to and from wherever the hell it is they're going, it's like, oh, no, you're going to go from here to here, no weird stops, no nothing. Like, that's it. Like, you still have to hail the thing, but you have to walk to wherever the stop is, and then once you get to the end stop, you have to walk to wherever your destination is. So, like, it'll drop you in the middle of the financial district, but if you have to, like, walk a block and a half, then you have to walk a block and a half. Like, it's not a door-to-door thing.
I mean, I can see...
Like, there are, I mean...
Yeah, okay. I see in large urban areas the potential benefit here.
Yeah.
I still would probably rather spend the extra couple bucks and have the comfort and security of a personal Lyft.
Yeah.
Or an Uber, what have you.
Yeah. Like that's...
Whichever you decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably rather do that.
Yeah. Like, it's... I mean...
But then I can also see, again, in an urban area where you've got certain hours that are high traffic.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, basically what you're doing is you're just ride-sharing with other people in the same damn car.
Well, no, like, it's still just you and the driver. Is it still
just one person and a driver?
Yeah, like...
okay.
Like, yeah, no, it's literally...
So then I'm not seeing the...
No, it's literally a more inconvenient Lyft that's acting as a bus. Like... Except you're the only person on the bus.
So every Lyft shuttle is like your own personal short bus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we should just market it like that.
I mean, if you've seen the reactions on Twitter, ooh, pizza's almost here.
Ooh, goody.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw just a couple of the little clip headlines on this particular article, but
yeah,
and some of them are pretty entertaining.
Oh, yes. I think we will have to jump back into... we'll just come out with some hot fire in a moment, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
right. This little grease ball of a pizza is looking mighty entertaining. Oh, yeah, there you go. Get in there.
Actually, hold on. I need this.
Oh, yeah, you're going to need some paper towels. So our delivery driver's name was Ruth.
Yeah.
She was a very, very attractive young Asian lady.
Oh. Well.
Thank you, Ruth.
Oh. So greasy.
It's very greasy. I think we're all okay with this.
Show this camera.
Oh, yeah, look at that ooey gooey mess. That's beautiful. What's she taste like, boss?
Oh, I dig the old world pepperoni.
You digging the old world pepperoni?
Oh, yeah, those little guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Little curly bastards. Mm.
Yes. All right. Let's,
Yeah, you get suited back up there, Iron Man. Get your headphones back on.
Alrighty.
Make sure we're all coming back in loud and clear.
Yeah, you're good. I'm good. We're good.
Right.
We're set. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So back to the quick Lyft shuttle thing.
Yeah.
People are basically just saying it's a bus. That's it.
It's a bus that excludes poor people who can't afford smartphones.
Yes. And then somebody I think threw out there that made some quick little meme thing that Lyft invented the stairs.
Yeah, I did
Lyft
see that
stairs. One. Oh, that was good stuff. So, all right. Yeah, I mean, I think we pretty much got that covered.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Turning this into a rich versus poor issue is absurd, says the man with money and privilege.
Yep. Yeah, this could get real hairy real quick, and I feel we need Gavin's youthful exuberance.
Yeah,
and,
that.
And Pizza Dad's aged nuance.
Yeah. Yeah, we need the Park City flair, and then we need the dad quips.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty much what needs to happen.
Yes. And then me to come thundering in to say this is all just fucking dumb. Anyway.
Yeah, so moving on. Before this gets far too political, we'll just shuffle that out. Cool. Long to the short, I'm still only going to take Uber and Lyft rides from destination, or from pickup to destination. I don't want to have to walk any further than I have to because I'm taking a Lyft or an Uber to begin with.
Yeah, like you're just making it super inconvenient. Anyway, speaking of inconvenience, let's talk about shady importers.
Oh man, this is a hot topic.
Yes,
this was our clickbait.
Yes, yes, it is. So
this one, like I said, this is really cut and dry. It all comes down to age, unless the government specifies otherwise. Mm-hmm. For importation, it's 25 years old or older.
Yes,
are deemed eligible for importation based on age by the NHTSA.
Yep. Yeah. So
there are extremely few exceptions, and of those extremely few exceptions, most of them require some type of modification.
Yeah, I mean there are 4 ways to legally bring a car into this country. Like Dave said, 25 years old or older.
Mm-hmm.
There is the show and display clause, which
that's a huge gray area in and of itself.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, there is the substantially similar, which also seems to have gray areas.
It does. It's up to whoever you speak to at the NHTSA,
yes.
I believe.
You're going to need that.
Oh, yeah, that is super greasy.
Yes, it is.
I'm in love already.
All right.
And then you've also got the...
the other way is
the bringing into compliance,
which is
only done at registered importers.
Yeah, and it's one of those you basically have to crash a few cars, so the DOT is like, okay, sure, it's fine.
Yeah, it's retardedly expensive.
Yeah,
Motorex, from what I understand, is the only company so far to have actually crash tested anything to get on that list.
Yes, they crash tested a bunch of R33s,
which is why there are only a certain model and certain year of R33 GTR only that are eligible for importation here in the United States.
Yes.
Thank you to Motorex. But they also dropped the ball on themselves really hard and started screwing around, importing 32s and 34s using the same data.
Yep.
And they are not the same car.
No, they are not. Not at all.
And so they got into a big heap of trouble. That was the whole Motorex scandal a few years ago.
Yes. And then there was another company in California that did another equally shady thing, which was they would bring in the chassis in one container and then the drivetrain in a separate container.
No, this is actually far more common than people think.
Yeah. This is just one of those things where somebody got caught.
Yeah.
So, so therefore it's not a car, it is car parts or scrap or whatever you want to label it as. So you would bring it out and, get the car and the whatever out of the containers and then put it all together and voila, it becomes a kit car.
Right.
Yes.
And that's a huge gray area.
Yes. However, the company that was doing this, usually with kit cars, it's some sort of like bespoke thing or it's, just completely different stuff that's going together. And these kit car manufacturers actually have to go talk to people to make this happen.
Right.
So, like, people in the government to make this happen. What this company was, they were just like, oh, yeah, sure, put it together. There you go. It's a kit car. The problem was, like, you're basically doing what Nissan did, and the government does not like when you kind of usurp, sidestep all of their rules, specifically the ones designed to keep our air clean and keep people not from dying.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the DOT said in their thing was like, no, you're basically like building these like illegal Nissan cars.
Right.
So, like, if you want to do that, you have to bring them into compliance, but everyone that you've sold, we're going to go find, and they ended up finding a bunch of them and crushing them. So.
Yep.
So, as our buddy Chirp says, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
And that's the thing. A lot of these people a lot of these people who are buying these cars are some of the problem, too. There are a few people that don't know what's going on. They think, oh, they got it here, it's got a title, it's good to go. Not always the case.
Yeah.
Then you've got these people that are shelling out 20, 30, 40, even 50 grand
for
a car that is not supposed to be here on a federal level.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if the state gives you a title.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where if the government deems it inappropriate, they're going to take it, and you're out your money.
Yeah. Like, it's... a lot of people see it's like, oh, yeah, it's, state titled, therefore it's, like, it's good to go, it's legal, it's like, no, it isn't. Just because somebody drove this shady thing from Calgary to Florida and got a sketchy Florida title.
Right. This is the most common, too. It's in North Carolina, as is the example in this particular article from one that got busted.
Yeah.
North Carolina, Florida, I think even Tennessee.
Yeah, typically the southeastern states where there's a crooked governor or something.
Right, exactly. And so you're getting that. And also typically a place with a port.
Yep.
That helps a lot, too.
Yep. So, yeah, all these places, they are the ones who are, where you're kind of finding some of these sketchy, these sketchily imported cars that if you take them anywhere and try to register them, odds are they will get
red flagged.
Yep. So
typically you're not... Oh, okay. I mean, there's really no way to guarantee buyer protection.
Yeah.
Unless it's 25 years of age.
Yeah.
Or unless there is paperwork from the federal government,
yeah.
NHTSA specifically, stating that it is a vehicle in compliance.
Yeah. And, like, the biggest thing you can do to protect yourself, if you're thinking about importing a car and you're kind of on the fence, like if somebody's saying, oh, yeah, dude, you can get, like, a 93 Supra or whatever, I got that sitting on the lot, you can have it. Ask around, like, do your due diligence not on the car, but on the company itself. Because odds are, if this person's doing something shady, they've done something shady to one or several people in the community.
Right, and then that becomes known.
Yeah. So, like, either they're going to have just a trail of people saying bad things about them, or, in some cases there will be a paper trail where people have filed complaints against them.
Right.
So, just be careful out there. But I do want to touch on two of the ways that you can actually get a car in. The substantially similar clause, which is, say you are working in Canada and you buy yourself a Camry or whatever. Just, basic transportation, get you to and from wherever. Then your company transfers you to somewhere in the States. What you can do is you can go to the manufacturer and get a letter saying basically that this car is substantially similar to one being sold in the United States. Therefore, it should be legal to bring in.
This is actually really common. A lot of our trucks and SUVs on the roads here, at least in Utah specifically, are Canadian exported vehicles.
Yeah.
They've had the speedometer changed to miles per hour, or a lot of these new vehicles, you just change the coding in the cluster and it reads correctly.
Yeah.
But a lot of these vehicles still have the same type of compliance already built in for the North American market.
Yeah.
The similar construction deal also works in favor of like the Acura 1.6 EL.
Yeah.
Which is essentially a Civic with a Honda Domani nose and an Acura badge and nice leather.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people that have brought those cars in, and those are 96 to 2000. They're just an EK chassis car.
Yeah.
Obviously not 25 years old.
Nope.
I mean, they're getting close, but they're not there yet.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
those cars are legal for import.
Yeah. But what you won't find or what you will have a hard time doing is, so the E60 M5 with the V10, in Europe, they made an M5 wagon. In the United States, we had an M5 sedan and a 5 Series wagon.
Right.
So you would think, drivetrain, similar to something, chassis, similar to something. No, that's not the case. It has to be the whole package for it to meet this substantially similar thing.
Right. Now, a lot of people don't like that because... they say, I can M5 swap this base E60, and it ends up being the exact same thing. You're free to do that, but you cannot import it based on those regulations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, nobody's going to stop you. If you want to just, I want an M5 wagon. Well, go find an M5 that's been wrapped around a tree, and then go throw $8,000 at somebody who has an E60 5 Series wagon, and voila. You have all the pieces to make it yourself.
Right. Now, you're going to run into the same thing regardless of whether you bring in an M5 wagon or you build one, and it's that you're going to have a real hard time with a insurance company without a customized policy insuring something like that for the full value. We didn't get it here, so we don't have an idea of what it's actually worth.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the customized car or collector car insurance comes into play.
Yep.
A lot of people don't realize this.
Yeah.
You can do all kinds of crazy Type R crap to a Civic DX or Civic CX hatchback, and that's all good and plenty, but according to the insurance company, unless you've got a real good policy on it, and somebody backs over your little Type R clone, you're getting $900 because it's a DX.
Yeah. It's but I did all the stuff. I converted it to a Type R. Vince still says it's a DX.
And that's the thing. That's what a lot of people also don't understand.
Yeah.
So, really, unless you're a hardcore enthusiast and you're willing to pay those premiums and you're willing to do the work yourself or pay a lot of money to have a shop do the work for you, it's one of those things where it's going to hurt you in the long run.
Yeah,
it'll be cool. I'd love to see an E60 M5 wagon.
Yeah.
Hell, I would love to build one.
Oh, me too.
Even out of just U.S. counterpart equipment. Just go buy the quarter panels from somebody junking a good one in Europe, weld them onto the car, and then you got the wide body.
And voila.
You're set.
Yeah.
So there's
So there's that.
There's that.
Yeah, and then the last one I want to touch on is the show and display clause, which...
Now, this one's a huge gray area, and we've actually even got a car local to us that is part of an issue with this.
Yes, but first we should talk about how this came to be.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So, in the 80s, Porsche built the 959. Crazy computerized twin-turbo flat-six, all-wheel drive.
Right, it was a rally car, it was a tarmac car, it was an everything car. It was ridiculous.
It was supposed to be Porsche's Group B rally car entry, but Group B died, so... they did Perry Dakar, they did tarmac stuff, whatever.
And they're just an insane car right at the gate.
Yes. And people in Europe could buy them. People in America could not.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
such was the case for a while until two very wealthy people, one being, Mr. William Gates and the other Mr. Jerry Seinfeld.
Yep. Two people who I'm not surprised would own 959s.
Yeah, they wanted to bring in 959s and drive them legally. They didn't want to be those weird, shady collectors sticking them in a warehouse and only taking them out very rarely and all this other stuff.
Right. I don't know in the case of Bill Gates, but I do know in the case of Mr. Seinfeld, he is an avid car guy, and he likes to enjoy what he has.
Yeah,
He's got a huge Porsche collection, from what I understand.
Oh, huge. And, yeah, Bill Gates, I mean, he appreciates what it is. Like, I wouldn't say he's necessarily a car guy on the same level, but he's like...
But I'm sure he's got a lot of super expensive, rare stuff of any niche.
Like any truly wealthy person, he has some...
Well, I would imagine he's fairly eccentric, so he's probably got all number of stuff across the board.
He probably has some cool stuff, but not like crazy amounts of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, those people you see with, you know, who have to have like the crazy Lamborghinis and Ferraris and the big house and showing you how awesome their watch are and their weird designer shoes or whatever. But, yeah, Bill Gates is the truly wealthy people are the dudes you see driving like a Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah.
You know, and buying the store brand stuff.
That's how they stay wealthy.
Damn right.
Buy my $1.88 Grandma Sycamore's homemade bread.
Oh, get that. Some Kroger peanut butter.
Oh,
Kroger
man.
grape jelly.
Oh,
you're eating well for a week, my friend.
Dude, that's like $6 in stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's tax included.
If that.
Yeah. You got breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Buddy. So they, you know, petitioned, and they got this thing through where it was you can have some of these kind of rare cars, but, you know, as with anything with the government, there is a give and take. They gave you the ability to get some of these cars, but they took...
But you can't legally drive them on the street.
Yeah, there are severe mileage restrictions. The cars have to be one of 500, not 501 doesn't qualify.
Right.
You know, so...
500 or less.
Yes. I mean, it is, you know... And the government, even if it's, you know, one of 250, the government can say, nah, we're not going to let you have it.
I don't feel like it.
Yeah, they're like, no, we don't feel that it is a rare enough or unique enough model. So,
yeah, and it's entirely at their discretion.
Yeah, so I mean, if you are rich enough and have connections enough, and you know, get lucky enough, you can have some ultra rare car in the States that you can only drive every other Sunday. To Cars and Coffee and back from Cars and Coffee. No side drives, no nothing.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Which, I mean, to a lot of people almost defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some people would rather just have the R34 GTR V-Spec NER in their garage.
Yeah, just to say that they have it. I mean,
just to say they have it. I mean, if I was going to do that, I would just say, hey, yeah, I've got that.
Yeah.
It's in a storage unit in my name in Canada.
Yeah.
Where I can legally do that.
Yeah. Or even they're just like, you know what? I have it. I can't drive it like I want to, but I can at least take it out and show it off, which is admirable.
I mean, that's definitely some first world, you know, rich people problems.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I really wish. R34 almost took out that Rydox Supra.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what is this? This is an 02 BMI, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll look at it when this ends, but, ooh, son.
Wow, that got close.
Ooh.
Anywho.
Oh, a Rito and a Rydox Supra?
Well, yeah, it's his car.
Well, I never.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah. And also, if you want to blame anybody for the 25-year-old rule, don't blame the government. Blame BMW and Mercedes and their
Mercedes specifically.
Yeah, and their respective dealership networks, because they...
The deal was, and this really sucks. This kind of leaves a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. Mercedes originally petitioned to have this 25-year importation law because they wanted to basically gouge the American public, the North American public.
Yeah.
They were selling their fantastic sedans and coupes and convertibles and what have you abroad in Europe, Australia, all these other continents for a strikingly lower number.
Yeah.
And then here in the United States, they were jacking up the prices.
Yep.
People were wise to their efforts, and they started importing European spec vehicles. and it would still come in at a shockingly low amount.
Yeah, it would be
compared to the sticker price of a U.S. spec car.
Yeah, much cheaper, and oftentimes it would be
the better car.
Yeah.
You'd have the Euro spec bumpers, which looked a whole bunch better. You had the European spec fuel injection, or the motors in general.
Yeah.
You had transmission options. I mean, there were a lot of cars that you could only get as an automatic in the 70s and 80s from Mercedes.
Yeah.
In North America, in Europe, you could get a 5-speed model, or you could get the V8, where you could only get the 6-cylinder here. The options were a long list.
It was a rich cornucopia of things you could get elsewhere.
Yeah, and they decided that they didn't want to be beat at their own game by wise people with money. So they petitioned the government, BMW to a smaller level, but the majority of which being Mercedes, petitioned the American government. And, of course, the American government, because they make money off of every car that sells.
Well, because you have senators and representatives who were getting healthy donations by people who owned several car dealerships in their district.
Yes.
Like, the car dealership and the dealership network is not there to protect you, the consumer. It is there to protect the manufacturer.
Well, it's there to protect whoever has the deepest pockets invested.
Yeah,
As a result...
Yeah, anyway.
It starts to get pretty hairy. So they decided, okay, well, we're going to put a ban on anything that's not 25 years old. And that effectively axed the new car importation.
Yep.
So now your only option to buy a Mercedes was to get an American spec model and pay the ridiculous premium on it.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Mercedes-Benz. Thank you, BMW.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Much appreciated. We would not be in this mess at all if people weren't trying to make a buck.
Yep.
And if people weren't getting salty that other people were saving a buck.
Yeah. I mean, it's like...
Money is the root of all evil. That's why they ask for it in churches.
If you see something shady, just follow the money.
Exactly.
You'll find the problem. Oh.
So, yeah, that's just a crazy one.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of money and craziness, a late addition onto the agenda, one that I haven't even looked at, Takata.
Oh, yeah, the Takata Airbag Company. They are filing for bankruptcy.
Yes, they are.
Saw this on a Fox Business article, but I have seen several other articles from other more notable, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people can see the word Fox and think, it's garbage.
Yeah.
But this is a legitimate thing.
Ooh.
They have the auto industry's biggest ever product recall hanging over their heads.
Yes, the airbags that would shoot the shrapnel in your face.
Right. They are filing for bankruptcy protection in the United States and Japan, and said it would seek $1.6 billion in aid from U.S.-based key safety systems.
That's...
This is also one of Japan's biggest bankruptcies.
Yeah, that's...
This is a big one.
Wow, the Tokyo Stock Exchange is going to be delisting their stock on the 27th of this month, or next month.
Buddy, that's going to hurt.
That's not good.
If that gives you an idea.
Yeah. On Sunday, the U.S. Arm filed Chapter 11 protection with liabilities of $10 to $50 billion. While the Japanese parent filed for protection with the Tokyo District Court early on Monday. Ooh, that is harsh.
Yeah, the filings opened the door to the financial rescue from auto parts supplier KSS, which Takata tapped as its preferred sponsor to help churn out millions of replacement airbag inflators. Proceeds from the sale will be used to settle a plea agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice on this one.
Yeah. However, Honda has not reached any agreement with Takata on its responsibilities for the recall, so Honda could still come after...
Honda's still trying to come after him. Yeah, they're going to continue in talks with the suppliers, but they're thinking it's going to be a pretty tough move trying to recover the bulk of their claims. Since Honda is I think they were the largest buyer.
Yeah. So, basically what these bankruptcy is it protects you from the creditors. It just says, you know what, I can't do this. Creditors, stop coming at me.
Right.
So, and it also, for a person, kind of screws you over for anywhere from 7 to 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
For a company, it's usually the death knell.
Yep. This is the nail in the coffin.
Yep. Unless you have somehow been declared too big to fail, and then, you know what, everything's going to be okay for you.
GM. Sorry, I had an Impala in my throat.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
So Takata's almost 85 years old.
Yeah, that's
been around for a minute. They're facing billions of dollars in lawsuits and recall-related costs.
That ain't good.
Honda, BMW, Toyota. There's some big names on this list.
Yeah, they are.
And I imagine none of these people are happy.
No. Oh Lord, no. Especially
because they're not getting their money back. It's like that one kid that borrowed like $5 from everybody in high school for lunch money,
and
then like transferred to another district.
Yeah.
And now nobody's getting their money back.
Yeah. Like it. I mean.
Yeah. So this. This is pretty bad.
That's pretty gnarly. That is pretty gnarly. So, yeah, man. Ooh, that is harsh.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah, they're not.
Oh, yeah, I did not read this particular part. The actual reason for failure. I did not see this. The ammonium nitrate compound used in the airbags was found to become volatile with age and prolonged exposure to heat. So, of course, where the majority of these issues have been happening, so the southwestern states and the East Coast. And they were causing the devices to explode.
Which is, a problem.
I mean, yeah, they're supposed to light an airbag to save you, but it's not supposed to randomly explode.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Especially if it shoots shrapnel into your facial area.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, it's supposed to save your face meat, not mutilate it.
Yep. I'm looking for sirloin to come out in the end, not a cube steak.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's looking like they've been in the red for the past 3 years on this one, selling subsidiaries to pay their fines and liabilities.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, I think Takata might be around as a name, but not as the manufacturer that we know it as today.
Yeah. It's getting pretty nasty.
Oh, yeah.
They're looking like a lot of industry sources are saying that Takata is probably going to be able to complete the current global recall with the bankruptcy, but they're going to have some future problems with other recalls, which is pretty likely to happen, I would imagine.
I mean, unless they can pull that old GM, new GM crap.
I mean... Yeah, it's possible. I mean, when a bankruptcy happens, anything goes, really.
Yeah, it just kind of all depends on how friendly you get with whichever government entity you're dealing with.
Yeah, and what's entertaining to me here is that Takata they're even seeking help from their rival companies.
Yeah.
Like Autoliv from Sweden.
Like they're just like begging for help at this point, which is... You don't want to see this stuff happening, but at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, okay.
And I mean, they've known this was kind of coming. I mean, in the past, they've got history of, criminal charges based on falsifying data.
Yeah, that's a big no.
And there were big fines associated with that, which I'm sure did not help.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were the world's number 2 producer of these safety products.
They
do seat belts, obviously, steering wheel systems and other components, child seats, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. They got their hands on all sorts of pies.
The CEO and chairman, actually, the grandson of the company's founder, Shigehisa Takata. I'm sure I butchered that name, but he has promised to resign after a new management team takes over. So if that's any idea, at least he's sticking around to watch the boat sink.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hands the keys over to the dredge.
Here you go.
Man, that's a rough one. So that's... I don't think anybody really saw that as a surprise.
Yeah.
I know Takata has been less and less recently a name associated with auto racing. I know in the past, specifically JDM stuff, Takata's been known for their super dope neon green harnesses.
Yep.
I imagine that's probably not going to be a thing anymore.
I mean, you could still get green harnesses. I'm not
sure. Well,
they might say Takata on them.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all going to be built in like Shanghai.
Like coming to you from Laos.
Yeah. Those Abu Dhabi belts.
I'm
all right with it.
All right. you know, let's save the Formula One thing for when Dad gets here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just know over this past weekend, Formula One played bumper cars under a brutal dictatorship.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Bernie.
Yeah. People hit people because they thought they did things and they didn't, and it was just a whole mess. And somebody drank alcohol from a shoe.
Yeah, we will say this. Degenerate son of convicts, Daniel Ricciardo, won the race. And because he is an Australian, and Australians are simultaneously the greatest and worst people.
I'll drink to that.
Yep. Martin, Moog, if you hear of this.
Marty, Moog, yep. Gentlemen.
Virgin Australia supercar drivers.
Yeah.
The shocking number of you who like our stuff.
I love you guys. I love the V8 supercar series.
Oh,
I just love Australia. It's a bucket list thing for me to go to Australia.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, back to
yeah.
this degenerate. So he won the race, and as he does...